Bad scenes.
Hey, what's going on there, YouTube? This is SCL0320. I'm here with my boy Enrique. We just came back from Fast and the Furious 7 or Furious 7 for the second time. This is his first experience looking at the movie, but this guy is one of the most diehard like Fast and the Furious fans that I've like ever met. He's a grease monkey. He's great with mechanics, and at the same time, yeah, you are.
I don't have grease on my hands.
Man, you know what I'm talking about, Ninja. But nah, he's a great friend, and he's come up technically from North Carolina. And we just saw the movie. It's like 2 o'clock right now. We're like on overdrive, looking at such an amazing craft of a movie. And what were your impressions of it? As far as being a fan, did you really enjoy it? I guess. Before we go into like talking about the spoilers, because this is all spoilers, y'all, just by the way. So anybody ain't seen the movie, do not look at this. Cut it out. No, don't look at our faces. John Cena, don't look at me. You know what I'm saying? So cut out now if you have not seen it. Anyway, so what was your, I guess, impressions of the movie, like as a fan, technically?
They went all out on it.
Yeah.
That thing blew my mind.
Because, I mean, there wasn't anything they didn't touch on, but it was like they paid homage to everything from race wars to like the introduction of just Jason Statham's character without any kind of like titles or anything like that. They had him there with his brother, you know what I'm saying? And his brother was still alive, and he basically walked out and you could see nothing but just everybody dead on the ground. And that's the beginning of it, and like you're figuring in your head like how are they supposed to really stop him. And then we saw at the end of 6 how he killed Han and how strategic he was, and he's supposed to be worse than his younger brother. And so I was like, man, this is gonna be nuts. But how it starts off was with Letty and Dom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just riding down, and they were having like kind of like this conversation because Letty's still dealing with insecurities with her mind and not knowing like is she good enough for him, because she's feeling like she's kind of half of herself. She doesn't remember the past 15 years they've had together. And then he takes her, he's like, look, I gotta take you somewhere, and believe it or not, this is a place that we created, and it was Race Wars. So what was Race Wars? I can't remember all of it from the first one, but
Race Wars is basically an underground like car meet / show / racing.
Yeah. That's right. Johnny Tan.
Johnny Tran, Hector, Vin Diesel, like all of them. They basically started it, and it just blew up.
Yeah, because Jesse in the first one, he lost the race to Johnny Chan, and then Johnny Chan out of retaliation killed Jesse at the house. That was another thing. The house got blown up. Because, I mean, no, like, in all seriousness, though, it was kind of like paying homage to when Jesse got killed. Like, that was a serious moment. Yeah. And it perpetuated them to go into action to seek retribution for their friend. Not just that, like, Paul Walker's character had already said, like, look, I'm a cop. And they were already at odds, but that went out the door at the point that they had to go protect their family. And that's where, in my opinion, the franchise established the meaning of family. And it's moved throughout the whole entire franchise up until the point when his house got blown up, and I mean Brian barely was able to save his baby, got his face smashed into the window, and then Dom protected his sister, but you knew right then and there like what was at stake. And that was the same as that point when he had killed Han, right?
Yeah.
And that was
right after.
Yeah.
Like literally right after he killed Han.
And that was crazy because they went and showed you what happened in Tokyo too.
And after.
Yeah, what is the guy's name that is the guy in Tokyo Drift? That's the Drift King. So Sean was actually in this one, y'all. I think his name is Jason Black. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think that's his name.
But
like that. Jason something.
He was actually there. Like, they had so many different characters that I didn't expect. And I think that having like Kurt Russell also in it, playing like kind of like, well, he considered himself like a ghost, I guess.
Yeah, he was more of comic relief than anything.
Yeah.
He was BA, but
yeah,
he was funny more than...
He was cool.
Yeah.
Like, he was a cool character. Like, he had moments where, like, him and Vin Diesel had mutual respect.
Yeah.
Because, like, Mr. Nobody, I guess the way he called himself. Like, he had unlimited resources, but he was willing to do whatever he could, not only to get the team to help him, but to help the team. And I like that relationship with him. I hope it continues on with the franchise because
10 years later.
Yeah. But when he started like pulling his guns out though, and he put the shades on, the night vision, I was brought back to, you remember Snake Plissken? What was the name of it? Escape from New York.
I actually haven't seen that movie.
That was him. And Stargate, that was him. And so I mean he's an action star, but like having him up there, I was like, wow, this seems like a classic kind of film. But then Tony Jaa's up in it. And Joe, he's over here working on some animation stuff, but like when Joe found out, he was like, what? Is that Tony Jaa, like for real? And like his character is consistently getting in Brian's way. Like everything he can to just beat him down. But their scenes together are some really good choreographed scenes. Yeah. Like it's really good, really fleshed out really well. And I was proud for Tony because like he hasn't had anything really since En Bach and the Protector series. And the Protector 2 came out. That didn't get that much traction, but at least this one, I was like, man, this really establishes
is very
him.
mainstream.
Yeah,
compared to En Bach.
It's like, what was Jet Li's movie? Lethal Weapon 4. Lethal Weapon 4 came out for Jet Li. That put him in the limelight for everybody. So this might do the same exact thing for Tony Jaa. I hope it does. Because he did a great job in this one. Like, he was like a good side villain.
What I'm actually surprised they didn't do was have him fight Vin Diesel.
Well,
I thought that he was because in like previous showings of like the making of Fast and the Furious, they were showing him training with Vin Diesel.
Oh yeah, he trained them with their choreograph scene. Because I think he helped out with the choreograph for Jason Statham and Paul Walker and with Vin Diesel. So I guess it does show. Yeah. But then with Michelle Rodriguez and what is her name?
I don't know that chick.
What is it, Ramsey? Is it Ramsey?
The hacker.
No.
No.
The
Russian girl.
Yeah.
She wasn't Russian.
She was nameless.
Man, I don't remember her name in the movie, but like
Helga.
Helga Pataki, that's her name. That's what we're gonna call her. But the fight with Letty, it was hardcore. Like there's nothing held back. I don't think I've ever seen a female fight that go that hard. Like even when she fought Gina Guerrero, there was nothing compared to how this was because this girl was stronger, faster, and I mean more deadly. Like honestly, she was trying to kill her most of the time, and I was like, dang, Letty, you getting 8 ups. But nah, it was really awesome how they did it. But then when you think about the locations that they shot at though,
yeah, they definitely went all out.
Like the scope was just amazing, but they showcased what I guess in my opinion the Fast and Furious franchises are really about, which is the family aspect, but then the cars. The cars, like they displayed them throughout most of the entire movie in such a good light that I was like, wow, that's beautiful.
The whole movie. It wasn't most of the movie. The whole
well, the big set.
Just about every single scene, there was a shot of a sick, nasty car.
Yeah.
Whether it was a muscle car, a supercar, a street car, a race car, like literal race car. They had those in there too.
True.
I was flipping out. I was like,
you should have seen this dude. I was like,
I had the biggest smile on my face.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
This guy, he was with his girlfriend, and I know he was just really enjoying it. He was like holding it in the whole entire time. I was like, man, respect for you, Enrique, man. You holding it in for the team. But no, all honesty, like everybody that was around me, honestly, was just like cheering and
they were doing more than cheering.
Well, yeah, they were kind of cussing and acting like crazy and stupid, but we all generally had a great time.
Yeah.
But what I guess the other thing that I hadn't talked about is the fact that Jason Statham's character, like he was strategically trying to take them out, and there was a lot of people have been saying like they don't like that he didn't have enough face time in it, but they'd already established that this dude is a shadow. He can move and appear in without like anybody really knowing it. Every single time they get like a head in something, he's right there. Like he literally seemed like he enjoyed messing with them, and like it wasn't like he wasn't not trying to kill them. It was like he just like enjoyed the thrill of the hunt most of the time, and like it was some interesting fight. The final fight with him and Vin Diesel, I think that was probably one of the better fights that I've seen. I think it's still him and The Rock in Fast 5 was always gonna be my favorite. But what's your favorite fight?
I don't know.
You like this one better than that one?
No. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
It's just.
It was. I guess there's a lot of weight behind it because of what happened.
Well, not even that. Just the history of the franchise. The first Fast and the Furious. I mean, Vin Diesel talks. He basically, and the FBI agents, like they told Vin Diesel's story. Like he beat a dude with a 1/4-inch twig wrench.
Oh dang! I didn't even think about that.
They brought in giant wrenches to fight with. Like.
I didn't even think about that.
What the heck? Like,
see, this is the man.
Like everything in it.
I didn't even think about that.
I was just like, are you serious?
So this was real respect to the franchise completely in everything. And even with like Hobbs got ate up, y'all. But then like The Rock, he does it in such a cool way because he did the rock bottom on dude. He was like, you darn Tex.
I was waiting for him to be like, you smell what I'm cooking.
Well, no, when he said, what I'm going to do with your finger, he was like, well, I'm going to stick it where the sun don't shine. I was like, yeah, that's a Rock reference.
Yeah.
But it's really awesome because when he got blown out the window trying to save the other girl that was from Fast 5 as well, like, he was messed up pretty bad. But when he came back... with an ambulance to crash it into the drone that was trying to kill everyone. Now, like, again, there's so much, we can't go into everything, we're not gonna try, but there was a drone, y'all, just wreaking havoc everywhere with missiles and turrets trying to kill everybody. Like, I mean, they tore up most of the city. They did more damage than Superman did to Metropolis. That's the best way I can kind of describe it. Yep. But it was never a point in the movie that I wasn't entertained. There was never a point that they didn't centralize what was the core of the story arc, you know. And everybody had progression between Letty and Dom, between like Jason Statham's character, what he's trying to do, even with like the side characters like Ludacris's character, and then the newer character Ramsey.
Yeah, that's Ramsey.
She was a really interesting character. I think that they can do a lot with her character later on. Yeah. So I'm glad to have her in it. Like, she did a great job in my opinion. But
I think those two gonna hook up.
They are, but Tyrese is gonna try to steal her away from him. It ain't gonna work. Tyrese is hilarious in this one, y'all. Like, when they have the scene with the plane and like him getting pushed out and being afraid of not going to the plane, like, it was one of the funniest things in the whole entire thing. What was one of your favorite moments, Joe? I can't remember what you said. What was your favorite line? Was it The Rock? What The Rock said?
Oh yeah, at the end.
What?
It was like, oh, so you're gonna dig out between 38.
It's like, you better get the digger.
Well, see, that's the thing, y'all. They didn't kill him. They didn't kill Shaw.
I was hoping they would.
And the fact that they didn't kill Shaw, I was like, what is gonna be at stake if that's the case? Because his younger brother's still alive in the hospital. They put him underground and kept him there, but I mean, he's gonna get out. And I think that it's more than likely going to be his brother that's going to get him out. And what he's going to do after that point, I don't know. But it's going to be some hell to pay for what he's done. They are in deep now with not just like the bank sequences and stuff like that. They are heroes, I guess, of the government and different people and of their city. So, I mean, they've got some serious enemies to come. What do you want to happen from the franchise from this point? I don't know if I can see anymore.
Yeah, they kind of did it twofold. This could either be it or they could add on to it. But what I want to see is Sean.
That's what I was thinking.
I want to see them progress his character.
He's signed on for the 8th one.
That works.
So.
Also, I kind of want to see them bring back some older characters, like Leon, because they didn't bring him back, and maybe like some of the older FBI agents.
True.
I think that'd be pretty cool to tie that on.
That's real.
For like help.
That's right. And then even on the second one, the guy that they put away, the Tyrese and Brian put away, he's not dead.
No, that's true.
So I mean, it could be like kind of like a Flash situation where the rogues get together, because
that sounds like Marvel.
But no, I mean seriously though, like they can get people together. But one of the biggest things about it, and this brought a lot of people to tears, is that they didn't kill off Brian's character. They paid homage to him and the essence of family and home, and bringing him together with his family. His wife is pregnant with another girl, and a little girl, and his son is a lot older, and he's able to move away from this lifestyle in such a beautiful way. And I know they had to change the story arc to do it, but it was essential to have him have a real send-off. And I know Vin Diesel had a big hand in it. And even like the scene where they were together on the road and they stopped, and you think they're gonna race, but at this point, I think, what was the line that Vin Diesel said? He was like, "I've always lived my life a quarter mile at a time." But the thing about my brother is he does the same.
Yeah.
And like, I think what he says is, let me see if I wrote it down. I think I wrote it down.
You wrote down the quote there.
I've been writing notes the whole entire movie. He was like, "You always be there with me, and always be my family." And I was like, oh man, it was just a beautiful send off, because they parted ways at the fork, and I mean it focused on Paul Walker's car, and then they did kind of like a tribute homage, and it was just really beautifully done, and there was much respect. And my first time I saw it, I was kind of teared up. The second time I was a little bit okay, but the people around me, they just got quiet, and everybody gave it like a serious clap, and it was well deserved. I mean, the movie itself has so much action. We're not even really talking about all the action sequences. There's scenes where, like, head-on collisions. There are scenes where you got scenes where cars are going through the woods, maneuvering away from like trees. There is a freaking car that goes up to, what was it, 244 miles per hour, or not even the max at it.
Yeah.
And they took it through 2 buildings.
3 buildings.
3.
And it gets shot at. And it gets shot at by bullets, and it gets shot at by a rocket launcher.
Midair. It was just beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got cars like flying out of planes and landing, and when you got like freaking trucks that's got like armor-piercing rounds, like it was like a pirate ship on the freaking road. Like this is not just a man's movie. This is an epic man's movie. But at the same time, it's family oriented enough, and it's grounded in the franchise enough that everybody can really enjoy it. And I think this it's gonna make a lot of money over the weekend. But I really enjoyed it. I give it 10 out of 10. I know this guy gives it a 10 out of 10.
I'm calling best movie of the year. So I'm still calling best movie
I
of the year.
was like, I got Avengers coming up. I got Star Wars coming up. I can't say that.
I don't know if Star Wars can top this.
So
I love Star Wars. I don't think Jurassic Park's gonna top it. Like, I don't even think Avengers is gonna top it. And Avengers looks amazing.
True.
But just seeing it and how much stuff has gotten put into it, like talking about the franchise and where it's come from, and like, yeah, they outdid themselves in this one.
Yeah, and I think that this movie cements all the movies as one. It's like a lot of people try to take Tokyo Drift out of the equation, but Tokyo, or even Too Fast, Too Furious, but those were essential for this movie to work. And then they revisited them in the 6th one, like a little bit, but in this one mainly. And they go back to all the different places.
They didn't go to Miami though. It was the only place they didn't go.
Yeah, but I think the new one is supposed to be taking place in New York. I don't know why, but
that'd be nice.
But anyway, I enjoyed it. Hopefully y'all enjoyed our spoiler review. I know we were acting wild and crazy, but this dude, he's one of the biggest like Fast and Furious fans I know. I wanted to bring him in on this spoiler review. I intentionally didn't tell him I looked at it already. I looked at the movie already. Yeah. I didn't tell him. I was like, man, I can't wait for this movie. And then we looked at it, and I kind of told him, I was like, yeah. So let's do a spoiler review so you can get all this. Because this dude wants to go out. He just wants to drive. You know what I'm saying? I was like, we got to get it out of the system.
It's not on my
We about to play Forza 5, and that's going to help him out a little bit.
Just a little.
justice. But anyway, definitely go and check out Furious 7. It's one of the best action movies I've seen to date. Definitely has some of the best like
Action
car
scenes, race
action,
scenes,
like
chase scenes,
fight scenes.
line has got the best line so far.
Yeah, I mean, it is a feel-good action movie, if there is such a thing. Like, this is how this is established.
It's basically a thriller.
Yeah.
It keeps you on your, like, at the tip of your seat the whole entire movie.
Yeah, nobody I felt was safe in the movie. I felt like at any point anybody could get taken out. When I think when the sixth one came out, I was like, man, anything's gonna go down when this comes down. Yeah. But anyway, I digress. Hopefully y'all enjoyed our spoiler review of this. If you did, leave a like below. If you have any comments, what y'all thought about the movie, or anything that we didn't talk about or touch on, we talked about a lot. Leave it in the comment section below. If you want to see anything more from this dude right here, leave it in the comment section below. And thanks for watching this, y'all. Good luck, Enrique.
No problem.
All right, everybody. SCL0320 signing out. So is Enrique.